Studio 33 AD, bringing you Catholic media.
If you've seen the news in the past 70 years, you may have noticed that there's a little conflict in the Middle East, in what we now call Palestine and Israel. Sometimes it seems like we make progress. Recently, they had a sort of truce after the October 7th attack a number of years ago. They've kind of settled down a bit. There's no longer, I think, today, an open war going on like there was not that long ago. But there's always kind of this knowledge that the peace is not going to last. It seems like a stopgap thing, like, okay, let's patch something together for now, and let's hope this one sticks. And there's a lot of people, everyone who's aware of the world or cares about major world events has theories about why it's such a mess over there. Why is it such a mess in the Middle East, unlike anywhere else? Unlike anywhere else. Why has it been fighting just perpetually there, as opposed to other places? And people have these different factors, and I think they're good factors, but they say that they're all-inclusive, right? They say it's this one factor, and this explains everything in the Middle East. And if we can figure out one thing, then we'll get it. We'll get it. We just got to figure the one thing out, all right? So I'm going to give you a couple of the one things that people propose for this. The first is, we have two different people groups who both feel like they belong to the same land. Frankly, it's an ethnic problem, they'll say. It's Jews and it's Arabs. And the way that we figure this out is by reconciling these two groups somehow. There's so much bloodshed between these two groups. We gotta just sit them down and have them talk and figure it out. All right. Other people will say, no, it's not an ethnic thing. It's a political thing. It's geopolitical. It's two states or one state or however you want to think about it that haven't figured out their affairs, and the world is putting its fingers in there and figuring things out as well. And if we just get the right borders, we get the right places for the right people, designate the right groups to have the right thing, then we'll have peace in the Middle East. That's what needs to happen. So it's a political thing. And then some people will say, no, it's not ethnic, it's not political, it's religious. It's religious. We've got on our hands two of the major world religions, both of whom consider this area extremely sacred. We have Islam and we have Judaism. And of course, there are Christians there too, but they're very much in the small minority. And this has been age-old. This is Isaac and Ishmael. This is religious struggle. This is religious warfare. This is irreconcilable concepts about who God is and what he does and what he's revealed to the world and how we should act in regards to other religious groups. And so that's really the problem. And if we can get some kind of mediator and all of that, then we can figure it out. Then we'll have peace in the Middle East. And of course, you will see the broad spectrum of belief and opinion in the Catholic Church. Because we're a huge group, we're the biggest group in the world, so naturally, you're going to find every variation of what I just said, for and against Palestine, for and against Israel, conservative, liberal, what have you. I've heard every kind of opinion from Catholics you can imagine. And it's true because we're members of this world, and we all come from different backgrounds, different political ideas, and etc., right? But let's start here. As Catholics. We're all Catholic here, or most of us are. One of the things we should be able to agree on as Catholics is that peace will only come in the Middle East when Jesus Christ comes, the Prince of Peace, right? When the Jewish Messiah, Jesus Christ, comes, then we will have peace. And this is what Isaiah himself said. This is what Isaiah predicted the Messiah would be like. This is what we get in Advent. Then the wolf shall be the guest of the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid. The calf and the young lion shall browse together with a little child to guide them. The cow and the bear shall be neighbors. Together their young shall rest. The lion shall eat hay like the ox. The baby shall play by the cobra's den, and the child lay his hand on the adder's lair. A number of very vivid images, if you can imagine a lion eating hay or a child petting a snake, right? These are what Isaiah says, this is what the world will be like when the Messiah comes. This is what the world will be like when the Messiah comes. And so, if the wolf and the lamb can put up with each other, can't Israel and Palestine put up with each other? And when people think about this, they might be scandalized because they realize that this is not the case in the world. We look at the Middle East, clearly there's still conflict. Clearly the lion is not lying down with the lamb, so to speak. And yet, we as Christians maintain that Jesus is the Jewish Messiah. So what's going on? Why is this the case? Why is there still violence in the world if Jesus is the answer to this prophecy that I just gave? Well, there's a couple ways to account for this. First, we need to remember that the Messiah has two comings. That's one of the points of Advent. In the first coming, he was quiet, he was meek, he was humble. In the second coming, he will fulfill this in a very, very obvious way. There will be peace when Jesus comes the second time, definitively. No more war. Everyone will see it, everyone will know it, everyone will confess that Jesus is Lord, and there will be peace in the world. That's what it means when Isaiah says, "There shall be no harm or ruin on all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the Lord, as water covers the sea." So the two comings of Christ accounts for part of this. But there's still another reason yet that we think that Jesus is the Jewish Messiah, even with the first one set aside. It's because of this. What did Jesus bring in his first coming? What did he bring? Well, he came to eliminate conflict, yes, he did. But instead of geopolitical peace, he came to give us peace and reduction of conflict and elimination of conflict within our hearts, within human hearts. The reason that Jesus came was to free us from the division within ourselves. Within ourselves. He did not come as a political Messiah. There's one cause, one root cause of all the war in Israel and all the major world wars that we see. And it's not primarily politics, although that's a factor. It's not primarily ethnic tension, although that can be a factor in some wars. It's not religion, even though that can be a factor. The main reason that we have war in this world is because of sin in the human heart. Make no mistake about it. What we see in the Middle East is just a macrocosm of what's going on in here. That's all it is. It's just what's going on in here writ large. That's what we're seeing. The reason that war exists, the reason that this war exists, the reason that all wars exist is because of personal human sin. The politics, the religion, the ethnic stuff, it's a factor, as I said. But the battle within the human heart is why Jesus came the first time. It's why he came. And he gave us something that the world had not received prior to his first coming. He told us for the first time in human history that it's better to be vulnerable and to be aggressed against than to be the aggressor. For the first time in human history, he told us it is better to forgive your enemies than to get revenge. And for the first time on the cross, he said self-sacrifice is the only way forward for peace. That is why Jesus is the Jewish Messiah. Because it is only in him and through him that we can even do any of the things that he showed us in his first coming. If you go to Bethlehem today, if you go to the Holy Land, you will see war still popping up here and there, violence, aggression. That's still a thing, right? We acknowledge that. But it's just a reflection of what's going on in the hearts of the people there. Unless we condemn them and say that they're worse than us, we have our own fair share of problems over here, don't we? That reflect the own division and sin within our own human hearts. And that's true whether we call ourselves Christian or we don't. We all have to be further conformed to him. So as Christmas draws near, the first coming, and human beings continue to look for a solution to our worldly problems, for peace, remember that it is only through personal transformation in Jesus Christ that any of the world's problems will be definitively solved. I think that the psalmist said it well when he said, "He shall govern your people with justice and your afflicted ones with judgment."